everybody, welcome back to my channel Garden a Little. As you can see, my tomatoes have been potted, most of them, and they are doing fantastic, acclimating to being outdoors. Here is my tray that I planted with cucumbers and squash. Looks like we got pretty much everything coming up, except whatever this is. I think that's basil, so that's not coming up, but everything else is coming up nicely. And then we have this tray here. This is some leftover tomatoes that I still have to pot up. Those seeds from Germany actually germinated. Look at that, that's awesome. Same with the peppers, so that's really exciting. My buena mulatas is finally popping up and growing. Not as many as I would like to see, so I will definitely be saving absolutely every single one of them. So we said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Got a couple of jalapenos. None of the albinos are coming up. None of the sweet bananas are coming up. One black Hungarian. So that is the reason why I tell you guys, if your seeds are old, you want to sow quite a bit of them. And then we have flowers coming up nicely, and the last bit of tomatoes here. These greens are doing fantastic, and they have been outside for a couple of days and no wilting, nothing to be concerned about. So I am planting these guys outdoors permanently in this bed. So I'm gonna lay them out the way that I want to plant them. Okay, so the reason behind this is that we'll have lower plants on the outside and higher plants on the inside, which are my cauliflower plants, because I definitely want to put some sort of a netting around this, sort of like a hoop. And so if that does happen, we want the taller plants to be on the higher end of the hoop. So this is super easy. I used these pots. They were very sturdy, and I got 100 of them for, I think, $19 off of Amazon. So this is my kale that grew here in Ohio over the past couple of years. So what I'm gonna do is, first I'm gonna dig up a hole in the same place. And my soil is not too bad. Kale is not very picky with soil. So I'm just gonna dig a hole. And then with this pot, it's kind of easy. Oh, look at that. That is healthy roots. So you squeeze the sides of it just to loosen up the roots and tilt it over. Look at that. These have been in here for maybe a week, and look at this root system already. I'm gonna plop them in there into the hole. I am gonna leave this in with the plant, and I'm going to put the rest of the soil back. Doesn't have to be fancy. Press it down a little bit. Ta-da! First plant done. This is one of my kales, and that's what I'll be doing with the rest of these guys. Look at that. And just like that, my greens are all planted. I cannot wait to eat some salads. Hopefully some cauliflower. I never have success with it, so maybe this year is the year. But this year I definitely made sure to give everybody ample of space, because in years prior, I crammed a lot of things in and it wasn't great. So hopefully by me giving them some extra space, gives them a little bit of encouragement to grow bigger and stronger. So I got cauliflowers here. I got my kale variety and Russian kale variety. It's called Russian red. And then a mix of lettuces right there. So now we watch them grow. Now for my tomatoes, it is way too soon to plant them outside. The nights still get down to 40s. They do not like that, especially my peppers. They will be stunted and probably will die. So I will take them back indoors under the lights and wait for another couple of weeks. But we're almost there. We're almost there to plant all of this into all of this. Since we're here, let's just do a little bit of an update. Not much has popped up from those seeds. We got a couple of radishes popping up here. The peas are coming up nicely, actually. As you saw, I spent the whole entire packet of peas because they were so old. Milkweed is coming up nicely. Also, the peas on this side is probably the best ones. These are the American seed ones coming up here and there. And then in my herb corner, you can see my dill coming up nicely here. I also sowed parsley. This is my oregano, thyme. I sowed basil, nothing else, nothing's coming up yet. Chives, cilantro. This is marjoram. This is tarragon, and that's sage, and that's cilantro right there. So hopefully this is a nice herb corner of this bed, and then all the other things are gonna go everywhere else. Very excited about this. My zinnias are coming up nicely too. Look at them. And then I have a couple of kale. It's coming up there, so I don't know. I'll leave them there for now just because they're fighters. They came up after very brutal winter, so leaving them there. And then my strawberries. This is probably the worst my strawberries ever looked, and I think that is because last year I did not get out of the garden as much, and so I did not clean out my raspberries. These are my strawberries. I did not clean them out as rigorous as I usually do. That's because I had a brand new baby and I was kind of busy with that, didn't pay attention to them. So these guys are definitely suffering from that, but next year is going to be much better. My lupine still hasn't given me any flowers. However, that right there, that looks real promising. I don't know if that's another leaf or that's possibly an actual flower right there. So we'll see, but the weather is getting warmer, so I know lupines don't like warm weather. We'll see if this year is the year. I'm very impressed with these sweet peas, sugar snap peas. They're coming up nicely. Can't wait to snack on them. We've also had visitors over at our pond. They've been coming over here and making this their home. We'll see if we have little baby gooselings soon. All right, I'm gonna bring them indoors under the grow lights.